All right. This is about HOT PASS podcast. Once again, we've got Ryan on again. Welcome back. I mean, we've tried to do this before, and then my immature ass with my podcast can't get everything right. So how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Let's act like, you know what? We already did this. Let's not act like we didn't do this already.
Yeah. I mean, I could give the same answers.
Yeah, we could just play it off like it never happened. And the dogs might be barking in the background here for a second. The girlfriend's getting home for lunch, so they might lose their minds for a second. I don't know if you can hear that.
I hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. The one dog, he's got like PTSD from something when he was a puppy, so he just barks at everything, man. Anything that moves up front of the house, fucking losing his mind. So, all right, just give me a background of yourself, what you do, how you got into NASCAR and everything like that.
Sure. So my name's Ryan, and I am the creative lead at Junior Motorsports. So primarily kind of responsible for all the paint schemes, get to do merchandise every now and then, kind of just be, a part of the conversation for bigger brand and creative ideas there.
Yeah.
I have grown up a race fan my entire life. I'm born and raised from Charlotte, so have kind of grown up around the racing industry and always kind of had the goal of wanting to work in it, and I am very fortunate to be doing just that.
Yeah, it's a dream probably for a lot of little kids. Even friends that are into like basketball and hockey now, when they were a kid, they saw like Dale Sr. or Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon. That was their dream somewhere, somehow. It doesn't matter if they were like washing or like changing out toilet paper in a bathroom at Hendrick Motorsports. They just want to be somewhere close to NASCAR. So how did you become a graphic designer? We should touch on that again, like we did last time. How did you start off? Like just drawing, or did you
Yeah, I mean, I guess like as a kid, I would doodle a lot and draw cars and stuff. And I was a big Ricky Rudd fan, so I would
the
always
legend?
draw his paint schemes and send it to him for his PO box, whatever the fan club was.
Like a cereal box back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, I just was always kind of just drawing race cars and then cars in general. And kind of when I got into like middle school, high school, I started making a lot of iRacing paint schemes and Inter 2003 paint schemes, and got kind of good at that, and thought, maybe I could make a career out of doing this. So, from really the middle of high school till now, that's kind of where I've had my head and my mindset of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to a small art school in Charlotte after high school, and with the goal of literally just getting a job in NASCAR somehow, some way. And through a couple of internships here and there, that kind of worked out.
It all works out when you work hard, right? Now,
That's right.
let's talk about how you were always a Ricky Rudd guy, you said, right?
Yeah.
And the first time we recorded this, who'd you work for first? You worked for Penske?
So my first foray into NASCAR was for Joey Logano and his management team.
The guy that I just cannot stand. It's a smile. It's a smile when he's sitting there and he's like all laughing, having a good time. And then he goes and yells at the fucking tow truck driver last year. I went, well, you're not Mr. Smiley all the time. Let's not act like you're a good Christian boy here.
I mean, I love Joey. He's a really cool guy, and I don't have anything.
Yeah,
anything
I only see it from my perspective, right? Watching him on the track, and I'm not a Ty Gibbs lover, but he's like bullying Ty Gibbs.
Sure. Well, I'll say this, like, how Joey is, like, on TV interviews and stuff, that's exactly how he's always been when I'm around him. I think he's a super genuine and nice guy. And actually, the very first day I showed up for my first interview, I showed up like 2 or 3 hours early or
Oh
something because I just
wow.
read the email wrong. Like I'm stupid and like I still do that every now
Still,
and then. Where
hey, it still looks
I
good though. At least you're
read
not 2
it was
hours
supposed to
late.
be I think at like 2 o'clock and I showed up at 12 o'clock.
Holy shit.
And he actually greeted me at the door and he was super nice about it.
Oh,
And,
so you can never
it all,
hate the guy.
no, it all worked out. They cut me some slack there.
That's a
So
pretty sick first day. You're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna get this interview. Oh shit, I showed up early. Oh hey,
yeah,
Joey, what's going on?
I guess it's better to show up early than it is
2
late,
hours a
but
little excessive though.
2 hours is a little excessive.
You're just hanging around now, creating friends. But that's just more time you could fuck up before your interview too. But obviously it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out.
And so, well, I feel like with Joey Logano, we'll just touch on this. Joey's way different when he's in the car. It's like Blaney. Blaney's way different in the car. A lot of guys are like that, but then off the track, they're like super cool, rad dudes. Like I think Blaney's had to go back on a lot of the stuff he said to Denny at Miami last year because when he's in the car, he's, fuck you, get the hell out of my way, right?
Yeah, you're in a different mindset when you're in the car. I don't fault anyone for anything being said. So
yeah, when you're in art mode and something like the girlfriend comes over and fucking bugs you a little bit, you go, what are we doing? You're in full art mode.
My cat's doing that right now. I think he's about to jump up here.
That's all right. We got 2 pugs here too, so I had to keep them out of the room, or they'll just be all over me the whole time.
He's probably gonna start yapping here in a second, if I had to guess.
But then you said on the first time around, this intrigued the hell out of me. You said something along how you never liked Chevrolet.
Yeah. So
Is it a big secret for everybody at Junior
no,
Motorsports?
I mean it's not that big of a deal. I guess it's ironic that I work for Dale Jr. and Kelly, and I grew up kind of in an anti-Chevy, anti-Earnhardt household.
If people don't know a lot about Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the whole Earnhardt family, is they're hardcore Chevy. Yeah, like Chevy till they die, bow tie till they die.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I am now. So
yeah. Well, I guess we'll continue to talk about you more, and then we'll get into the end of what happened this past Saturday, and maybe the aura of maybe how everybody feels at Junior Motorsports after that. But because Dale had some interesting things to say on his podcast on Monday about him and his daughter, and I want to see that video because that was really sad for Allgaier. But
yeah.
What else did I have here? Because we really killed it the first time around. I feel like it was just solid.
To give the full lore again, I can. But
you can give me because I feel like nobody really knows who you are. You're the secret guy that makes all these cool paint schemes and graphic designs for T-shirts, and nobody knows who you truly are. You're the mind behind it all.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I guess is I remember asking the process of how you guys get the sponsorships, and then how long of a process is it, or how long do you know ahead of time of getting a sponsor and then making the wrap, getting the process through sponsorships and how they accept it and everything.
Sure. I guess to give you the kind of 30,000 foot view, we have a lot of employees at the shop and a lot of guys in marketing, and we kind of just attack sales pitches. That's a lot of sponsorship now is making a lot of decks and paint scheme concepts, and you're kind of throwing stuff out there and seeing what sticks, So the management team can come to me and say, hey, like, we're going after so-and-so. Can you have this car paint scheme, mocked up for them to kind of put a visual in front of them, have like the 5-point and renders and sometimes, crew shirts or driver uniform or something like that.
Do you do that before the whole sponsorship deal is signed? Like kind of get them to lure them in?
Yeah,
wow.
Typically, like that's a lot. Like, I'd imagine a lot of designers at other teams do this, but there's maybe only 30 or 40 different paint schemes across all of our cars that like run a year. You know what I mean? And I probably create 200 different cars every single year that just never go anywhere. It's just, you're doing pitches and you want to put a visual in front of these sponsors or potential sponsors to try to wow them, because like, you don't want to hit them with just the numbers and figures. you give them something to react to. And I think, seeing someone's logo on a race car is cool, and that gives them something to be like, oh shit, yeah, this could happen.
Yeah, because I feel like it would just be a little bit of a bummer. I guess it's the same thing in the tattoo industry or whatever, that um, you draw something up and then all of a sudden they just don't like it. They back out. They have second thoughts or whatever. It's kind of a buzzkill. But I guess at the same time, you're getting paid either way.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of have to swallow my pride sometimes and be like, look, like it's not Ryan Williams Motorsports, it's
Mm-hmm.
Junior Motorsports.
Yeah.
I have the the trust to make something look good, but at the end of the day, it's not, the paint scheme isn't really up to me. It's up to whether the sponsor likes it, or
Yeah.
their feedback. Like it's kind of out of my hands. It is in my hands, but it's kind of out of my hands.
Yeah.
Like I can't take sponsor feedback and say you guys are wrong.
Yeah.
Let's do
Bullshit.
this. Like if that's what they want, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So
Do you ever sit there sometimes you come up with, has there ever been, you don't have to name the sponsor, but has there been a time where you think like a really cool paint scheme or really cool suits or whatever, and they just shut it down?
yep, it happens a lot.
Oh, God.
I always tell people that like the very first chance that you get to like get what you want is the first rendition, the first email you send,
Mm.
because you can't. I never want to get an email from a sponsor saying, "Can this be crazier or better?" I'd rather, as much as it disappoints me, get the email saying, "Can we walk this back
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
tone it down a
Go
little?"
above and beyond at first, and then yeah, here, let's
Yeah.
just take this
Yeah,
out.
you're only going to
Switch
get
this.
one opportunity to kind of
Well, it
do
sounds like an
what you
Eminem
want,
song.
and then walk it back. So,
Sounds just like an Eminem song. You got one shot, one opportunity.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be really, really tough. I'm not the most artsy guy, and I can't draw worth shit. But it would just hurt me with sometimes when you got this one idea. Like, does it take you a while to be able to process? Say, for example, like a Flying J one, right? And Flying J seems pretty simple, right? It's a gas station, right? I know this weekend you guys have like the coffee, the coffee Sammy Smith car, right? But like, does it take you a while to be like, you get a sponsor and then have that idea to flow? Like, does it take you a couple of days? Because I feel like if there's a process where you got to do it that week, fuck, I can only imagine trying to get it out right away and have something come to
Yeah,
you.
I think when I first started at juniors, it would take me longer, and it would kind of be a little daunting. But now I sort of have, like, I don't really worry about the deadline, and I kind of just, I truly believe when you get the logos on the car, it's halfway done.
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing I do is put all the logos on the car, and I design around those logos.
Right, right.
And if the car doesn't look good after you put the logos on the car, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But if you could just get that halfway point to look good, the rest of it just kind of comes together. And I just sort of, there's a lot of stuff that I try to do, but throw stuff at it and see what looks good until it starts looking good. And I start in like one section of the car and work there, and then work my way to the other section of the car.
Right. So, how did you land a job at Junior Motorsports?
I guess it's part luck.
Hey.
So
That was like me with Chandler Smith on Saturday. Some luck.
exactly, that was very lucky.
Yeah.
And unlucky for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But so to back up, so when I was in college, right before I graduated, I was working at this sign shop in Charlotte, and I kind of told you about this before, but I'll
Yeah.
say it again. So I was working at a sign shop, and that's kind of like the stereotypical first design job.
Have a couple American traditional tattoos on your arms, painting signs.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But I was making like apartment signage and shit like that, and like
Yeah.
I didn't want to be doing that. It did teach me a lot about production and scaling and stuff that I still use today. So I'm fortunate that I did it. But it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And I wanted to work in NASCAR. So I reached, after 6 to 8 months or so, I reached back out to my career counselor at the school I graduated from. And I was like, look, like, I'm making a paycheck, but it's not what I want to do. If there's anything in NASCAR you can get me, please let me know. And
Hmm.
so I found this out later, but it kind of goes, she calls around a bunch of Mooresville businesses and stuff. And I think what she did was she called this like local trophy shop or something in downtown Mooresville.
Wow.
And it just so happened that um, someone who was working for Logano at the time was like picking up something from there. I think they were like doing something with the foundation, so they needed some trophies made.
Yeah.
And they were picking something up, and I guess the manager was like, "Hey, do you guys need any designer
No
for
way.
your business?" Yeah. And Elliot May was his name, and he's like, "Yeah, it just so happens, I guess we are looking for
No.
this role." So like that's what I mean when it was super lucky. I think that's
Stars
how it.
aligned, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy how close because it's obviously kind of. I think it's hard to kind of break into the industry, but once you're
Yeah,
in.
you're in.
Um,
Wow.
so that came together, and I interviewed there and got an internship to work with Joey Logano and his management team. Um, I was an intern for 6 months or so, and then came on full time. And so he started a management business there that also represented other drivers. So I was doing a lot of work with,
Joey did?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I was doing a lot of work with Noah Gregson,
Super rad
some
guy.
Case Briscoe stuff every now and then. Cole Custer did a good bit
So
for.
it didn't really matter what it was just it like doesn't matter who they were driving for, it doesn't matter if it was Chevy or Ford, it was just management team.
Right, yeah.
Gotcha.
And we were kind of handling like PSA stuff and trying to sell sponsorship here and there. And I was drawing up like logos and T-shirts and stuff, but it wasn't really car related things,
Right.
which is really what I wanted to be doing. But with Noah going to JRM from KBM around that time, I kind of had some connections with those guys. And so when JRM's designer was leaving to go to Team Penske, I got the opportunity to interviewed twice, and I've got the job, and I've been there
Nailed it.
now since fall of 2019, since the day after Homestead I started.
Oh wow. So like what oh so the day after the championship race because they used to be at Homestead. Wow,
Yeah.
man. So you just killed it. You killed it. Now, did you meet Dale Jr. at that time, like beforehand? At any time before
No,
that?
I think it took a minute to maybe like formally meet Dale. I'm not. I say a minute. I mean like a month because
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like the holiday time, so there
yeah,
was a lot of people not coming in.
yeah. It's the end of the
Um,
season, right?
yeah, actually, my first day was I think potluck, um, which
That's
is like
sick. And you don't know
Thanksgiving time.
anybody, dude. It's
What's
so
that?
awkward.
Oh yeah, and I'm also like I'm kind of like just socially awkward as shit anyway. So I was so overwhelmed that first day, and people were like coming up to me
Hey, buddy.
and giving me food and stuff, and I was like, I'm
Hey,
gonna shit
what's your name?
myself. Yeah, but it all worked out, and it's a really cool place to work, and Dale and Kelly are awesome, and
They seem like two like salt of the earth people. Kelly, I feel like she could probably put her fucking foot down. Like Dale probably could put like I can imagine in a meeting after last year when everybody like the junior motorsports guys kept getting into each other. But I can only imagine if somebody says something bad on social media or in the media in general, and Kelly comes in the room. Oh my god.
yeah, I am. I don't think I've really gotten too much trouble since I've been
That's
there,
good.
so I haven't had to get my hand slapped.
And you've had almost a 5-year run, and you haven't had to get your hand slapped by her. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
good.
mean, I don't remember ever getting my hand slapped. That's not to say I haven't fucked up every now and then, but
Well,
that's
I
just
mean, you're in a position where it
kind of,
can't be too bad. The only thing you probably have to really deal with is like HR.
yeah, that's true. I was like, trying to change up number outlines and stuff for a while, and then I was like,
Ooh.
yo, you can't be doing that without telling us. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I tell them, and I get my way.
Yeah,
Usually.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I get my way. But
They know the talent, dude. They know the talent. They're like, well, I mean, I guess. Do
yeah, I think there's just the like, and I'm very appreciative for this, but there's a trust for, you know, management there to say like we hire these people to do a job, let them do their job, you know, and my job is not really an exception for that, and I'm very fortunate for that.
Yeah. That's one thing I've always said to a lot of people, and I'll just use tattoos as an example because I've been around it for so long, just getting tattooed, that a lot of the people, they forget that tattooers are artists first.
Right.
And people go in there, they've got a whole design on their phone. Oh, my friend made this, and I want it tattooed on me. Well, you're taking their whole thing of being an artist first away from them. So when you hire somebody to either do a tattoo or design a car, it's like you're hiring them to be an artist. So let them do their thing and stop. Don't critique. Well, you can critique them and take bits and pieces apart, but like that's their job first. You hired them and paying them to do that.
Yep.
It's like you're not hiring, you're paying your friend to go design the car or design a tattoo. You're doing the job.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. And like I have 2 tattoos, and both times I'm like, I could have just drawn something up that I wanted, but I would feel shitty walking into the parlor and saying I want this exactly, you know.
Oh man, and they all look at you, and you know they hate you. Like they
Yeah,
like
exactly.
If you go in there with that, like how many times I've been sitting there getting tattooed, and I'll just like a little tiny white girl comes in. Oh, I want this on my arm. I saw this on the internet, and I went whoever's getting that, they're passing along to whoever because they were like, we don't want it.
Yeah.
Or go to the shop down the street. Oh my god. Yeah, it's being an art. I can only imagine, but yeah, there's probably been, I'm sure, sometimes for you that they've just been like, okay, wait a minute, we got to take a step back here. Have you guys thought? I've always thought this is so cool. Once RFK started doing this, has Junior Motorsports or you at all thought about the chrome numbers on a car? Like, because those things stand out like crazy on the track.
Yeah, and we've run them a few times.
I
mean, I think I could be wrong, but I think the first year in Cup when they were re-allowed, that wasn't a thing for Xfinity and Truck.
Right.
I could be wrong about that. I know we've run them on like the Degree paint scheme for Justin last year, and we ran them for Sam this year at Daytona.
Right.
I can't really remember where else. There's probably more coming in the pipeline.
Yeah.
You know, there is an extra cost to that I have to like keep in consideration. But you know, if I do it every now and then, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So recently, in the last couple of days, it's almost better that we've had to redo this, but you guys have Bubba Pollard. He's been doing a lot of stuff. I think it's Connor Zilich, right? Mm-hmm. Are you on the jobs for designing those cars as well, too?
Yeah, so I did design Bubba's car. The Ream paint scheme is going to be running here in a few weeks. I think it looks sick as shit.
You seem a little biased, eh?
I am biased. It's got a ridiculously huge hood logo.
Yeah, I love that. I saw that. That was sick.
I think it's like obnoxious in a good way.
Yeah.
You know?
Smack him in the face with it.
Yeah, and we have some cool stuff coming out for a bunch of guys. So
I'm very excited. I always have to say, I should have let off with this, is for everybody that's going to be listening, Junior Motorsports by far is now, because I feel like we're buddies now. But it's but before, I thought, every time I go to the track and I see, all these booths, a lot of these are haulers with all the merch and everything, they're slacking. Now, the paint schemes on some of the cars on the track are beautiful, but their shirts, everything like that is very slacking. But every time I go to Junior Motorsports booth, and even I think you have a Sammy Smith one out right now that you designed in the haulers, and I see that and it just grabs my eye immediately. Now, I saw you post, so I think it was yesterday. We have to have an argument here. You, I think, replied to was it Trackhouse and their Bush paint scheme, and they have a T-shirt. Now I'm more of a little hit in the front, big hit on the back, right? And you commented, "What the hell? Why is it not on the front?" or something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
I wasn't that much of a smartass about it. No,
I'm paraphrasing.
Like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You
Yeah.
know, I personally think that like a NASCAR T-shirt should either be um, like a big hit on the front only, or a big car hit on the front with like
Right.
a cool car hit and number on the back or something like that. You know, I
Right.
mean,
Make it like
everyone,
a big logo and a big logo on the back as well.
yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just what I like. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know really where the kind of like it used to be that way back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. You know, and then
Yeah, I think that's what
somewhere along,
they go for, right? There's a lot of like Vans. Vans does that a lot with their shirts, and like a lot of skateboard companies do a little logo
sure.
and big on the back. And I feel like because
And
I've
maybe that's kind
skated,
of where it started. I don't really know, but somewhere like between the 90s and 2000s, that like little hit front and big giant hit on the back kind of took charge.
yeah,
I just think that like this is my opinion, no evidence backing this up. Like if you look at a bunch of driver merch now, like there's no option for that traditional front hit only or front hit, big front
they've
hit,
got
big
like
back
nothing
hit.
at a lot of
Like
haulers
everything
either.
is the little dirt track stuff here and dirt track stuff here, and I just don't like that. But like,
And I
you know,
gotta say, like a lot of these dirt track guys, or like you've done a couple dirt track guys stuff too, right?
yeah, I did like a Bowman tee
Yeah,
a few
that's
years ago, um, and I do like the shirt how it came out, but it's certainly something now that I would never like draw that way now.
right. Well, you eventually find your style, right? I feel like as
Right? Yeah.
tattooers too, they eventually you hone it in and you find your own style over years and years and years of work. And I feel like, but a lot of these guys, whether it's dirt track or like I'm calling out Kyle Larson. Their designs on their shirts are so basic, and it pisses me off because I'll see something like you design or Junior Motorsports, whoever designed some of the shirts. And I'm like, dude, do something like this, or the all over print shirts. Now I get it. It's expensive to do all over print shirts. Definitely something like what I'm wearing now. And it's expensive, but like we got to start, like people are going to buy it. I guarantee people are going to spend the money for the shirts. I know the cost, but man, some of the stuff I see at the tracks or the dirt tracks, it is just boring.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of tell people this a lot, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record for people who've heard it before, but
Mm-hmm.
like I think there's a reason why not just racing fans, but kind of like TikTok and Gen Z and celebrities wear the vintage racing merchandise, and it's because it looks badass and it's
Sick.
fun and goofy and bright colors and
Yeah, man.
like there, in my opinion, when I draw a T-shirt, I'm just drawing it as though it's 1992. You know,
Amen.
like, you know, I'm not trying to make it look vintage. I just think this is how racing shirts,
Yes.
NASCAR shirts should be. So I'm just going to draw it the way it used to be. Like that's just kind of how I do it.
I in my head right now, I'm thinking of that Step Brother scene. Like, did we just become best friends? Yup. I'm speaking for it right now. Yup. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
you know.
I 1000% agree. And that brings me to like that Bass Pro Shop all over print shirt, and the Hellman's one. Unbelievable. I think they both sell out?
Probably. Yeah, I know the Hellman's one definitely did
Yeah.
quickly, and then I think we probably printed more of the Bass Pro one.
I think, yeah, I think a lot of them came because like I think the Hellman's one came first, right?
Yeah, and that was kind of our first attempt at like doing the traditional all over print screen print thing
So
again.
sick.
And like shout out to Hellman's for letting me do that.
Dude,
That's
yes,
a big fear I have,
respect.
is like I want to do these wacky crazy shirts, but you also have to get sponsor sign off on these
Yeah.
things.
So what? So you talk to somebody in Hellman's, or did Junior Motorsports do that for it? Because like because didn't you have a rocket, like a fucking rocket car?
Yeah, it was like a spaceship car, and then like the
so
jar
sick.
with like the mothership or something.
Oh,
You know?
I didn't get it. I fucking waited, and then it sold out. I was
Yeah.
pissed, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it sold out pretty damn quick. And I
Oh.
have like two just to kind of keep, and my girlfriend has one that she wears, and I have
man.
just one like packaged up. I kind of have like one of every shirt that I've made so far, and now it's getting like to be too big of a tub to hold on
Hey,
to.
what size are you? Large?
I am like that weird mix between large and medium.
Yeah, it's like me, dude. See, because how tall are you?
5'8".
Oh shit! Oh, I'm 6'2", but like I can fit into
Yeah,
a medium
very big.
sometimes. You're 5'8". Okay, all right. Wait a minute. When I met Dale Jr. at Watkins Glen, it fucking made me feel so weird, dude. I was like, I'm 6'2". You see everybody on TV, and like,
Yeah.
but Dale's got to be around the same height as you, right?
He might be a little bit taller. I think we're about
Yeah.
the same
Fuck, man,
size.
it
So.
was weird. But meeting Tyler Reddick, I don't know if you met Reddick, but that shit was really awkward.
Yeah, he's short.
Oh, and I had my shirt off, and I'm all heavily tattooed. He was like scared of me.
That's awesome.
Oh, he was just like, what the fuck? Then he saw me at Vegas, and he goes, oh, you're the guy with all the tattoos. And I'm like, yeah, there it is. You don't forget it. So, well, then let's talk about, supposedly, you said, touch on this about Allgaier in a sec, but you have a shirt coming out, like a really cool shirt or something like that coming out for Allgaier in a couple of weeks or something?
Yeah, there is an Allgaier shirt coming. There's actually a few shirts in the pipeline that are dropping for
that you've designed?
Different guys. I can't really give you any more information than that. But
disappointing.
I'm sorry, but
no, it's all right.
There's some really cool shit coming out, and I'm actually like on lunch break right now, working on another one right in front of me.
It's right in front of you. Let everybody look at his glasses. See if we can peek something out.
Nothing on screen except for some black outlines right now.
And you're designing those shirts.
Yeah.
So it's for like Allgaier, like all the guys?
Allgaier is one, and then I don't even want to tell you the names actually.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, it's a secret.
It is kind of secret.
Oh, buddy, I'm so excited. Immediately, my pocket, my wallet will be immediately going towards Junior Motorsports because I have to buy it.
It's cool shit. I just got approval on 3 of them, and I have, I think, 2 more to go. So
it's almost perfect that we had to re-record this.
A little bit, yeah.
It worked out. Now, did you design Justin Allgaier's paint scheme that ran this past Saturday?
His Brant car, I did, yes.
Yeah. Were you watching the race or no?
Of course, I was watching.
Did you get excited?
Yeah, I did get very excited. And I was just kind of chilling, watching the race wind down,
Just like nothing's going to happen here.
Yeah, I literally, because my girlfriend was watching and she's like,
all excited.
Is anyone going to catch him? I was like, he's got this in the bag.
Yeah, I was pissed. I was
begging for no yellows,
So and, he had a good car. Like, he had a really good car, but that one caution for Haley Deegan was, I called out whoever was on that button is I joked, but I was like, that motherfucker's sex is a shit. Like, I was like, if anybody else is sliding like that, you're not hitting the caution, but because it was a girl, you hit the button like, oh, she's wrecking for sure. And then
I don't know what
crashed Sam Mayer, dude. I was pissed. I was like, you crashed, like, the next restart, Sam Mayer gets into it, and he's like, he was fast, man. Did you design that one too?
Care less about everyone else caught up in that, but like when I see Sam fucking wrecking, I'm like, shit, dude, like, because he has such shit luck this year.
Oh, he had bad qualifying that day, and then he was moving through the field. Like, he definitely had a top 5 car. Yes, I had money on him, but I root for that kid, man. Like, he is so good, and all the Junior Motorsports guys, like Brandon Jones, I just wanted him to have a good day. But, like, Sam Mayer getting caught up in that, I was just like, and it was all because of NASCAR. And then, later on in the race, Allgaier gets into it, and what was your reaction?
I think I saw the smoke, like, when he went by that camera, and I was like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And as soon as the tires started ripping apart, I just turned around. Like, I didn't even watch the crash or anything. I was so pissed off.
Dude, I was out for dinner for my brother's 1-year sobriety, and we're out with our family, and the girlfriend's big Allgaier fan, right? And I'm like, look up for a second, take a sip of my beer, look down, and he's crashing. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, it was disappointing, but, at the end of the day, we had winning speed, and that's kind of, it gives you hope for next week.
So I said to my brother, for Christopher Bell on Sunday, I said he blew a brake rotor or whatever at the championship race. He probably had a fast car. He's coming for everybody's heads. Revenge. Wins the race. So if Allgaier gets to the championship 4, we're going to have to readdress this when it comes to it, but he's coming to win the race because he had a damn good car.
Yeah, I did think about, like, thank God that wasn't the fall race. You know what I
Oh my
mean? Like that would have
God,
been.
dude.
I can't imagine how crushing that would have been.
Everybody has to walk in on Monday, just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so
It
was it
was.
a bit of a bad aura at Junior Motorsports that on the Monday?
Say that
Everybody
again.
comes. Was there like a bit of a bad aura going on, like or like a feeling in the air
I
when
mean,
on
no,
Monday, or you just go back to work?
it's I think if we kind of lucked into that position and we didn't think we can't win the next week,
True.
then yeah, we would have been disappointed that would have been like, oh no, that's our only chance to win this year, and it pissed
Yeah,
away. But
it's not like
it kind of just
F1.
makes you more motivated to get back up there and do it again.
Yeah, luckily you guys got 4 cars, and it's not like F1 where it's like, oh my God, I have this. Probably I could win maybe one race, but like F
Yeah.
or in NASCAR or whatever, you got 4 cars, you got four shots at it, and you got Coda next week, so you got Sam Mayer is gonna hopefully blow the brakes off everybody.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we got some stiff competition, but Sam's kind of come alive here for a good road course racer, and
He's pretty young too, isn't he?
yeah, he's not. I don't think he's 21 yet.
Dude, babyface Sam.
Yeah.
We love Sam. Well, I appreciate you coming on and doing this again. Hopefully everything recorded. It should be good, at least audio. I
Yeah.
definitely hit the record button on that. But yeah, thanks for coming on. Hopefully we can do this again in the future if something like big is coming out or something big just came out. We can talk about it. So,
Sure.
all right, big dog.
Cool. Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me back on for the second time here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, man. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cool.
All right. See you, buddy.